Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, especially to political theory series. In this video, we will going to discuss the features of Thomas Hobbes' social contract theory. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe for more videos. Now let us begin. Firstly, let us understand what is the social contract theory. Social contract theory is a theory which seeks to explain the state as a result of a social contract. And that social contract theory was also supported by Thomas Hobbes. And Thomas Hobbes said that before the establishment of state, there was a social condition known as state of nature. And that state of nature was ruled by a principle known as survival of the fittest. Means whoever fit, they only should survive, and who is not, they should not survive. Hence, Thomas Hobbes says that it was an anarchy and brutal. To come out of such society, people came together and signed an agreement and established a state and government. Okay, now let us discuss the features of Thomas Hobbes' social contract theory. The first feature of Thomas Hobbes' social contract theory is there was only one contract, and that was a social contract. According to Thomas Hobbes, whatever the contract people made to come out of the state of nature is a social contract and not a governmental contract. It means that the sovereign is not a party to the contract because he is the creation of contract. Means the king is the creation or the product of the social contract, and he is not subjected to the social contract. And second feature of social contract theory of Thomas Hobbes is that the authority of the sovereign is absolute. As per Thomas Hobbes' social contract theory, the sovereign is not party to the contract. He did not subject himself to any conditions, and the authority of the sovereign is absolute and ultimate. All his subjects must obey the sovereign, otherwise there would be conflict and war, and finally the return of state of nature. Another feature of Thomas Hobbes' social contract theory is the position of sovereign is above the contract. Thomas Hobbes says that the terms of the contract do not apply to the sovereign, as he did not enter into a contract with the subjects. Thus, Thomas Hobbes says the sovereign was above the contract and he was no way bound by them or bound by the terms and the conditions of the social contract. Another feature of Thomas Hobbes' social contract theory is that the contract is binding and permanent on all community. And Thomas Hobbes said that individual or the citizens of the country do not have any rights except the right to self-preservation. And in case the sovereign is losing in a war and conquered by another sovereign or another king, the subjects will become the subjects of conqueror. And the fifth feature of Thomas Hobbes' social contract theory is the absence of right to revolt to the people. Hobbes denied the right to revolt against the authority of the sovereign, even if he becomes arbitrary and despotic. Thomas Hobbes believed that the sovereign can never be wrong and his action cannot be unjust. Another feature of Thomas Hobbes' social contract theory is that people surrendered all right, including the right to revolt against their sovereign when he found it to be unjust. Hobbes said that people agreed to do all of this only because they were afraid of going back to so-called state of nature or the anarchy, which was a dismal state of their existence. And Thomas Hobbes considered law as the command of the sovereign. Hobbes not only considered the law as the command of the sovereign and the king as the source of law, but also said that law of the sovereign can never be unjust and immortal. Thomas Hobbes considered the liberty of the people as a favor or the gift given by the king or the sovereign. Liberty, according to Thomas Hobbes, consists of two things. First, whatever the sovereign has not forbidden, and secondly, what that could not be given up by the nature of original pact, that is, right of self-preservation. And finally, Thomas Hobbes favored the location of sovereignty in the hands of one person, that is, the monarch. This demand made by Thomas Hobbes was to support the monarch of England and protect the institution of monarchy from the revolutionary trends. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want more videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to give me thumbs up. Thank you.